Justin Bieber just skipped Hailey Bieber's birthday, and the internet is losing it. Because while Hailey was reposting birthday wishes alone, Justin was halfway across the world in India preparing a high-profile performance with Jennifer Lopez, and not a single public happy birthday for his own wife. And it gets messier. At the exact same time, Selena Gomez appeared calm, glowing, unbothered backstage at Sabrina Carpenter's show, instantly going viral while Justin stayed silent on Hailey. Fans are connecting the dots, and the timeline isn't looking good. Something is shifting, publicly, emotionally, and very visibly. It all started with one quiet moment, a moment Selena Gomez didn't even create for drama. She simply showed up to support Sabrina Carpenter at her LA show, glowing, calm, and completely unbothered by the chaos the internet loves to drag her into. No cryptic captions, no hidden messages, just a peaceful appearance that somehow sparked a wildfire. Because while Selena stood there smiling, the rest of the world noticed something else happening at the exact same time. Or rather, not happening. Hailey Bieber's birthday was unfolding hour by hour online, and Justin Bieber was nowhere. Not in a story, not in a post, not even in a lazy repost or a recycled throwback. Silence. And as Selena's serene backstage photos spread across every platform, that silence from Justin suddenly felt louder than anything. People weren't comparing them directly. The internet was doing that on its own. One woman looking genuinely happy, present, and at peace, and another woman celebrating her birthday without a trace of her husband anywhere. It didn't matter how many candles were on Hailey's cake, the real spotlight was on the absence. Then the fan commentary began rolling in, making the contrast even harder to ignore. One person wrote, "Selena didn't even try, and she still outshines their whole PR machine." And honestly, seeing how effortlessly she carried that moment, I get why people feel that way. Another fan commented, "Hailey looks lonely even in a crowd. You can feel it." And that hit different. Because it wasn't an attack, it was an observation people felt deep in their gut. And honestly, before we go any deeper into this mess, if you're already hooked by how wild this contrast is, tap that like button. It helps more than you know. While the internet was buzzing over Justin's silence, another conversation started rising. One that made the timeline even messier. Because as Hailey's birthday hours kept passing with nothing from Justin, people suddenly noticed he wasn't actually missing. Just missing from her. He wasn't offline. He wasn't unreachable. He wasn't cut off from the world. He was reportedly preparing for something far bigger. A high-profile performance alongside Jennifer Lopez at one of the most extravagant weddings happening overseas. The contrast became impossible to ignore. Hailey was blowing out candles in Palm Springs, surrounded by her brand team and close friends, trying to make the moment look warm and intimate. But the internet could already see the split screen, her soft birthday aesthetic versus Justin's jet-set energy and glittering international stage plans. And even though no one wanted to say it out loud, everyone felt it. The energy between them just wasn't matching anymore. One side looked like effort, the other side looked like escape. By the time fans realized Justin hadn't even posted a rushed happy birthday draft, the conversation shifted completely. It wasn't just about forgetting anymore, it was about priorities. And what it means when someone keeps showing the world exactly where they'd rather be. You could feel the shift online when fans started chiming in with their own observations. One person wrote, "How is he planning a whole performance but can't post one sentence for his wife?" A comment that summed up the growing frustration perfectly. Another viewer said, "Hailey looked like she was celebrating alone." And honestly, that says everything. And the moment those comments started circulating, the conversation wasn't just speculation anymore. It became a reflection of what people were already sensing deep down. What really pushed the conversation into chaos wasn't just Justin flying across the world or Hailey trying to pretend everything was normal. It was the clock. Hour after hour, the timeline kept waiting for something. Anything. From Justin. A story, a repost, a blurry photo, one recycled throwback from 2016. But there was nothing. Not a single pixel of acknowledgement. And the silence started feeling intentional. Because Justin wasn't offline. He wasn't taking a social media break. His previous posts were still pinned at the top of his page, loud and proud. Everything from random memes to rapper shoutouts to impulsive aesthetic dumps. This wasn't a man who forgot his password. This was a man who simply didn't show up when it mattered. What made it worse was how visible the contrast looked from the outside. Hailey reposting birthday wishes from friends, candles, cakes, surprise moments. She was doing everything to make the day feel full. But that emptiness, the space where Justin's message should have been, overshadowed the entire celebration. People weren't just noticing the silence anymore. They were questioning the intention behind it. Because when someone stays quiet long enough, the silence becomes the message. You could feel the shift the moment fans started reacting to the silence itself. One viewer commented, "It's crazy how he has energy for memes but can't give his wife one birthday sentence." And honestly, it highlighted how lopsided his online presence looked. Another fan said, "Hailey's day felt complete, except for the part where the one person who mattered didn't show up." And that observation hit even harder because it captured what everyone was already thinking. The missing piece wasn't an accident, it was a choice. What made the timeline snap wasn't just Justin's silence, it was the pattern behind it. Because as I scrolled through the day, I kept seeing the same thing over and over. Justin has never been shy about showing love publicly, just never to the one person he should be showing up for the most. He'll hype up rappers he barely knows. He'll repost memes. He'll drop random quotes. He'll even jump online to defend people like Chris Brown without hesitation. But the one day Hailey needed even the smallest gesture, nothing. And that's when fans started digging and resurfacing things Justin probably hoped were long forgotten. Especially that moment last week, the one where he said Selena's name while singing live on Twitch. It wasn't edited, it wasn't taken out of context. It was right there, slipping out naturally, like a reflex from a different chapter of his life. And now, placed right beside his silence for Hailey, it felt like a puzzle piece fans didn't want but couldn't ignore. I saw people asking the same question everywhere. Why is it so easy for him to show public loyalty to everyone except his wife? And honestly, when I looked back at Selena's calm appearance at Sabrina Carpenter's show, the peaceful energy she walked in with, it suddenly made sense why it went so viral. It was the stark opposite of the chaos happening elsewhere. The internet has its theories. But what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to know. What came next didn't feel like typical internet drama anymore. It felt like a shift. A slow, building wave that had been forming for months suddenly pulled every piece of the story into one place. Because once Justin stayed silent through Hailey's birthday, the conversation stopped being about posts and parties. It turned into something bigger. Something people had been whispering about for a long time. It wasn't just the missing happy birthday, it was everything surrounding it. The trip overseas, the glamorous performance with Jennifer Lopez, the effortless energy he seemed to put everywhere except home. And suddenly, fans started connecting dots they had previously ignored. Dots that went all the way back to those cryptic posts that surfaced earlier in the year. Justin's questions about faith, Hailey's lyrics about feeling misunderstood, his sister's warnings, his father's emotional messages. At the time, people dismissed them as normal celebrity mood swings. But now, they felt like warning signs. Meanwhile, Hailey's birthday content kept rolling out. Curated, polished, trying to paint a picture of normalcy. But even the prettiest photos couldn't distract from what was missing, the one person the world expected to be standing beside her. You could feel it in the timeline, the way the tone shifted every hour. What started as confusion became suspicion, and then concern. Fans weren't claiming anything dramatic. They weren't shouting breakup theories out of nowhere. They were simply pointing out what was already visible. The energy between Justin and Hailey didn't feel aligned anymore. Not in their posts, not in their priorities, not in the way their worlds were moving in completely opposite directions. By the end of the night, the birthday silence wasn't just silence, it became the final piece in a story people already felt unfolding long before this week ever arrived. And whether the world ends up being right or wrong, one thing was unmistakable. Something between Justin and Hailey had shifted, and everyone could feel it. And honestly, after everything that unfolded, I'm still sitting here trying to understand how one birthday managed to expose so much. It wasn't just the silence, it was what the silence revealed. Priorities, patterns, and a truth the internet has been sensing for a long time, but finally started saying out loud. And if you felt that shift too, if this whole situation made you raise an eyebrow even once, don't keep it to yourself. I want to hear what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're noticing between the lines. And hey, if you're still here with me at this point, you already know what to do. Show some love, tap that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll keep digging together.